Are you using Cloudflare free CDN for your website? What if I tell you that Cloudflare free CDN is actually slowing down your website? Yes, that is true. Most of the website owner use Cloudflare to serve their website faster to the end user. But it does not happen every time. There are times when your savior becomes the actual villain. So today in this video, I'm going to reveal the 4 biggest drawbacks of using Cloudflare free CDN. And by the end of this video, you'll know whether you should switch to a paid CDN or avoid CDN altogether. Starting with the first drawback, Cloudflare uses anycast routing, which means that it doesn't always send your request to the closest server. As a website owner who is using Cloudflare CDN, wants that when a user requests a website, their request should be routed to the nearest Cloudflare server. But here's a catch. Cloudflare may not always choose the closest server because of some factors, such as the path from the user request to the nearest server is congested, or the nearest server is unhealthy and hence unavailable to take any request. It might also happen that the performance of the nearest server is not up to the mark. This means that your request could be routed to the server that is located far away from you. This can add a lot of latency and slow down your website for users who are even located closer to your server. For example, if you are in India and you request a web page from Cloudflare, Cloudflare might send your request to the server in United States and then back to India. This can add an extra time for loading process, making your website slower for your users. So sometimes the free plan altogether defeats the purpose of CDN. You can see in this link, people have reported that their website is routed to a different country, and this can add a lot of latency for the end user. Now, the second drawback is Cloudflare is a reverse proxy, which means that it sits in front of your web server and intercepts all the requests. In such setup, when clients send requests to the origin server of the website, those requests are intercepted by the reverse proxy server. The reverse proxy will then send requests to and receive response from the origin server and send this response to the user. So no client ever communicates directly to the origin server. This is great for performance and security, but it can cause some problems for website with low traffics or that changes content frequently. For example, if you have a website with low traffic, Cloudflare may not have your website's content cached on its server. This means that every time a user requests web page, Cloudflare will have to fetch content from your origin server and then cache it before delivering it to your user. This can add latency and slow down the loading time of your website. Similarly, if you change your website content too frequently, Cloudflare may not have the most up to date version of your website content cached on its server. This means that user may see the outdated content when they load your website. This could be very problematic for your website. If you are concerned about this, you can manually purge the cache or set up caching rules, but this can be very tedious and complicated. Next drawback is the impact on website ranking. Imagine you are waiting in line to order coffee at a cafe. The barista is busy making drinks for the other customers, so it takes few minutes before they can deliver your order. This is like the time to first byte of a website. TTFB, or time to first byte, is the time it takes for a server to send the first byte of the response to the client. The lower the TTFB, the faster the server responds to the request and faster the website loads. Cloudflare uses technology called gzip compression to reduce the size of the web page that it delivers to the client. This makes web page load faster, but it also adds overhead for server response time. Also, Cloudflare uses Nginx servers. One of the drawbacks of Nginx server is that they have higher TDFB than Apache servers when using gzip compression. This is because Nginx servers wait until the compression is completed before sending HTTP headers, while Apache server sends out the HTTP header immediately even when the compression is not yet done. In short, this means that TTFB of a website using Cloudflare may be higher than the TTFB of the website that is not using Cloudflare. However, Cloudflare claims that TTFB is not a real problem and does not affect user experience. Some experts disagree and argue that TTFB is an important matrix that Google uses in its SEO ranking algorithms. This means that high TTFB could hurt your website's ranking in search result. However, it is important to note that reducing website's TTFB may not have a positive impact on your website ranking in search results. So, what should you do if you are using Cloudflare and you are concerned about TTFB? One thing that you can do is test your website's TTFB using a website speed test tool. This will give you an idea of how your website's TTFB compare to the others' website. If your website's TTFB is high, you can reduce it by optimizing your website's code and images. You can also try switching to a different web hosting provider. The fourth drawback is that Cloudflare may cause incompatibilities with a certain web hosting services or plugins. This can lead to errors, conflict, or downtime due to Cloudflare settings or policies. Here are some specific examples of incompatibilities that can occur. A web host may block Cloudflare IP addresses if it believes that Cloudflare is being used to launch an attack against their server. A plugin may not work well with Cloudflare cache setting if it expects to be able to cache content on your website's origin server. To resolve these incompatibilities, you need to tweak or disable some features of Cloudflare, your web host, or plugins. You may also need to contact your web host or plugin developer for support. So, here's the final verdict. Should you use Cloudflare or not? As you have already seen, Cloudflare free plan has so many disadvantages. Sometimes it even defeats its original purpose of serving data from the closest server. So, if you have a good hosting with fast server and SSL already there, then you don't need Cloudflare at all, neither free nor paid, because it might even slow down your website or cause some issues with functionalities or SEO, as we have already discussed previously in this video. But if you're hosting with really bad host or slow servers and poor securities, then you might benefit from Cloudflare free features and protection. To set up Cloudflare on such website, you can follow the link in the description. However, it is better to look for a better host as soon as possible. If you are confused which web hosting provider is best for you, then you can follow this video to make an informed decision. I have shared the link in the description below. I hope this video was helpful and informative. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more such web development and hosting tips. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll answer to all of them. That's all from my side. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.